cheat code.
All right, everyone, bonus episode, diving in, doing a review of the CRBN TruFoam Waves, the newly launched paddle by CRBN Pickleball. As many of you know, I don't just do podcasts. I don't do just pickleball cheat code. I'm also a full-time employee for CRBN Pickleball. So, of course, elephant in the room, I'm going to be biased towards our paddles and the products that we release. However, I really want to break down why I genuinely love this paddle so much, what makes it so special, and why I'm going to recommend it to so many players out there that are interested in getting a new foam core paddle. So for those of you that are new to CRBN and CRBN TruFoam, the TruFoam Genesis was the first iteration that launched at the beginning of this year in 2025, and now this is the successor to that wildly successful TruFoam Genesis. And essentially what TruFoam Waves does is everything that the Genesis did, but way, way better. This really takes it to the next level in terms of power, spin, and feel, and we'll get into that as we go through this review here. The Waves will be coming in all of the same shapes as the TruFoam Genesis. These are 14 millimeter paddles, 100% foam core. But what makes this one so unique and so different than the Genesis is we took the same material and the same core as the Genesis, which so many people loved and why it was so widely successful. However, there is a completely new core design. If you've seen the TruFoam Genesis core, there's a lot of circle voids throughout the paddle that are cut out within the foam that makes it play really unique. With the TruFoam Waves, we took a different approach and actually this is where it got the name Waves, of course, is it has these wave designs within the foam pattern of the core. And that allows the paddle to play in such a different way than the Genesis did. What's so special about that core design with the waves that are going from the top of the bottom of the paddle is that it allows for a ton of flexibility. So when the paddle flexes a bunch in the middle and it compresses, it really compresses that ball, leading to an immense level of feel, which is great for when we're focusing on touch shots and working our way and transitioning to the kitchen, but also that flexibility allows for crazy plow through. So when we're looking to actually rip the ball and we want to hit a heavy speed up, a heavy drive, or smash an overhead, it really allows you just to drive through that ball and hit the shit out of it. The TruFoam Waves has a dwell time level that is unmatched compared to any other paddle that exists. And for those that don't know, dwell time is the amount of time that the ball sits on the paddle. So what that allows is for an extreme level of pocketing ability and a way to maneuver the ball that you can't do with any other paddle. Since it sits on the paddle for so long and really sits on the face, you get a highly, highly responsive feel in a way that when it sits on the paddle, you can control it and maneuver the ball in any way that you like. For example, if a ball dips below the net a little bit and you want to scoop it and flick it, you're able to do that really, really efficiently with this paddle without it just flying off of the face. It feels like tennis strings on a tennis racket. So if you're a tennis player, this is kind of a dream for you. I'm not even a tennis player, but I just love the feel of this so much. It really allows me to hit crazy third shot dipping shots. It really allows me to transition efficiently with high arcing balls where I can really, really shape it and get tons and tons of spin. And then also with that dwell time, when I put plow through on the paddle through the ball, I'm able to get so much power. It really sits in there and just flies off the face with that dwell time. So that's what makes it so special and so unique is that it's soft when I need it to be. And then when I need this paddle to rip, it rips so hard. This paddle is maxed out on the PB Core 43 exit velocity, which essentially is the standard set for the highest limit of power that CRBN could possibly reach with this paddle. So it has the best of both worlds. It's soft when I need it to be. I can hit really, really, really easy third shot drops, resets, and dinks. And then when I do need to put pace behind it, I can do that as long as I'm getting that power into it. So that's what is so great about this paddle is I really get the best of both worlds here. One of the misconceptions about power is there's two different types of maxed out power that you can achieve. There's the super poppy paddles, right? There's something in the middle. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum is that really, really, really immense level of dwell time. We designed this intentionally to have that dwell and pocketing ability because this is the feedback that we've gotten from really high-level players that we've worked with when we've done hundreds and hundreds of hours of testing and playthroughs with this paddle throughout the whole prototyping process that we've done. with those flat poppy paddles, while that can be great for like a really flat, fast counter where it just kind of shoots off the face of the paddle, it doesn't allow you to have that shaping, which is so important when you're trying to transition effectively into the kitchen, which in my opinion as a coach is the most important part of pickleball, is being able to have effective transitioning and feel within the paddle. So that's why we opted to go this route of that heavy, heavy pocketing dwell time versus something that's super poppy when we maxed out that power. So all bias aside, this is personally, genuinely from, you can put a lie detector test to me, this is the best paddle that I've ever played with. And who is this paddle for? As I mentioned, people that are coming from tennis and they want that feeling of strings on a tennis racket where it really sits in and then you could launch it when you need to. Players that really value that transition game and really working into the kitchen effectively. And they're also looking for that feel where you can really feel the responsiveness of that ball sitting on the paddle. That's so, so important. So if that's the kind of player that you are, very, very would recommend this to you, highly recommend this to you. And then people that are looking for heavy power and heavy spin. As I mentioned, when you put some weight behind this thing flies. So it's really, really, really powerful when you need it to be without losing that control, since control is the most important thing in pickleball. And I also highly recommend adding some weight to this paddle too. Personally, I'm more focused on stability since I can get enough power for my game naturally. I really like going towards the bottom corners of the paddle. That really expands the sweet spot even more than there already is, and it really allows me to have that stability for when I'm transitioning, and then it just kind of balances everything out. So I recommend putting a few grams of lead tape on the bottom of each corner. I like to bring mine up from the stock weight where it starts at about 8 ounces, and I like to bring it to maybe 8.6, 8.7 ounces. But it's all preference. Point being, recommend testing different weight options with this paddle as it really changes the feel and really changes the way the ball sits in the paddle. So, yeah, I highly, highly recommend at least just giving this paddle a try. With Carbon's 30-day return policy, you can order this, test it out, and if you don't love it after 29 days, you can send it back, guarantee, no questions asked. Carbon's customer service is really the best in the industry, so it's something that you can rely on. Give this a test run if you want. And then if you have any questions about which paddle shape is the best fit for you, which TruFoam paddle in general is the one that's going to fit your game the best, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram, give Carbon an email at partners@carbonpickleball.com, or even easier, just give a comment here in this video on Spotify, YouTube, wherever you're listening to this podcast. We'll get back to you and answer any questions that you have. So thank you so much for listening here. I really hope you guys give this paddle a try, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye, everyone.